people are surprised when they come here and they see JD is a black guy. and they look at my reviews and they say, wow, that's good reviews, you know? And then I do have a mixed clientele. I mean, I do have some white people that come to me, just like a mix, and Asian. So, and like I said, once I have you as my customer, I'll make sure that you're happy and satisfied with the repair that we do for you. Usually after that, you know, you leave, when they leave with a good feeling, they usually come back. Every time they have a problem, they think about you. And that's what it's all about. It's about, you know, having a good experience with you. And when they run into a problem, they think about you. So that's how you grow your business.
All right. All right. Well, we certainly appreciate it. JD's Auto Body and Painting is located at 6300 Wayne Avenue. If you want more info about them, you can go to their website. It's JDS Auto Body and Painting Inc.com. That's JDS Auto Body and Painting Inc.com. And you can also go to the Livelihood website to view a video about them. That's at wordworks.com. That's WURD Works.com. So you can check them out there as well. John Dorsey, man, it's a pleasure talking to you, brother. Thank you so much for joining us this morning on WURD.
I appreciate the call. Appreciate it.
All right, man. We'll talk to you soon. So I want to hear from you. Give us a call, 215-634-8065. That is 215-634-8065. And make sure you check out JD's Auto Body because they do have some job opportunities available. That's what Livelihood is all about. So check them out for that and make sure that if you know some folks who are qualified for those opportunities, that you let them know. Give us a call, 215-634-8065. That is 215-634-8065. You know what I forgot to ask JD that I should have asked him, Kwesa?
What's that?
I should have asked him who you got between James Evans and Cliff Huxtable.
Dang, yeah.
Because he an old head. I think he would have said he got James Evans.
Maybe.
I do.
Maybe.
I do. I think that's what he would have said. But I want to know that from you guys. Is it James Evans or is it Cliff Huxtable? I'm betwixt in between, Kwesa, because I love them both. I love James Evans. He was very no nonsense. I love that about him. And I love Cliff Huxtable because, as one of the callers said earlier, he had those lessons. You know what I mean? Like those life lessons. But you know what he also had? He had consultants working with him to form those lessons on that show. And what John Amos had, who was the actor who played James Evans, was he had to rumble the white writers all the time. It's why they got rid of him. Because John Amos was like, look, man, no, that's not – no, what you're writing right now, that's not what a black person would say. That's not that's not how we would handle that situation. Like, he was really trying to get them to be more authentic about it. And the same way he was on screen is the same way he was back then in life. Like, he wasn't playing no games. So they was like, yo, we got to get him out of here, man. And that's why they killed him off, because he was challenging the white writers on that show to be more authentic in the way that they portrayed black people. That's a bit of trivia for y'all. Let's go back to the phone lines, 215-634-8065. That is 215-634-8065. Rose from Logan is on line one. Go ahead, Rose. Rose.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
Listen, I'm going to go with the Huxtables.
Okay.
Because they were established. They made it. They were upper class, whatever. Whereas James was good, but he was downtrodden. You know, the black man hard story, surviving, being beaten on. Huxtables were more positive, give you more direction, more upbeat.
Okay.
All right.
All right. I want to thank you so much for your call this morning on WURD. I think Huxtable's pulling ahead, Kwesa. I think the people are going with your choice. Well, how did it make you feel? How you feel about that?
I feel pretty good. I feel pretty good about that, you know, and I think I don't know, and maybe because I know someone had called just before we had John on, but they had said that they were going for James Evans as well. So we got to give another vote to James Evans because of the fact that a lot of people could relate to James Evans. They were in the struggle. They understood what was going on. I think that for me, because of the fact that we were struggling. I kind of, I needed to see, some successful black folks. I didn't want to necessarily keep seeing the same thing that I was going through. I needed to see, some success. But I do personally feel that it's great to have representation on both sides. Like, we need to have that as black folks, because we're not all going to be doctors and lawyers and, have that, 5-bedroom house and all that. Like, we're not always going to have that. And so I think that, representation is key. And that's what James Evans brought to it. So, I would totally go with James Evans if I had, I think, more of like that connection to the show. But Good Times was on a little bit before me, but Cosby Show was my time, man. I love the Cosby Show.
It was a good show. It was a good show. So I don't know who y'all got. We had James Evans versus George Jefferson, and James Evans took it, running away. We had Cliff Huxtable versus Uncle Phil, and Cliff Huxtable took that as well. And so now it's James Evans versus Cliff Huxtable in the Black Dad Olympics. Who you got? I want to know. 215-634-8065. That is 215-634-8065. That is the number you can call to get in on the conversation right here at WURD. Kuwaisa, I'm laughing because one of the pictures my wife found was a picture of my son in his first onesie. You know what his first onesie was? It was an Eagles onesie. You know what I mean? I got to make sure. So that was like, he was born the year that they went to the Super Bowl with T.O., right? And it's deep because I still had the onesie, but I didn't have the picture. And in the year that they went to the Super Bowl in 2017, we did a little video with his onesie, and we talking about how long we've been watching the Eagles together. And, that's one of the things that we did together as father and son. But thinking about those pictures is what made me think about this whole dad thing. So I want to hear from you guys. Who you got? Cliff Huxtable or James Evans? I want to know. 215-634-8065. Sonny from South Philly is on line one. Go ahead, Sonny.
All right. It's good to hear you and Kuwaisa back together again.
Yes, sir.
I'll take James Evans because James Evans is the foundation. He was in the project. And let's say I'm pull Bill Cosby out with the character. Bill Cosby came out the project. So
he did, Richard Allen.
That character rise from somebody like James Evans.
All right. I want to thank you so much, Sonny. It's good to hear from you, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. Let's talk to Miss Deb from South Philly on line 2. Go ahead.
Hi. Good morning, everyone. I would like to go with James Evans. I believe he provided security first and safety always, because he was such a disciplinarian also in the household, but everybody felt safe. They always could go to him and know that he was going to give them, the security that they needed at the time, even when the gangs. Also, what I also appreciated about him was he allowed his wife to be home and the homemaker of the house. While he may have had different jobs and temporary layoffs, as the song would say, he did have a job, and he provided that safety net for the family. So I appreciated that struggle and that life, and it was more relevant, I would say, because he kept it pushing, and again, it was safety first in the home.
All right. I want to thank you so much for your call this morning on WURD. Wanda from West Philly is on line 3. Go ahead, Wanda.
Good morning, Solomon.
Good morning.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Great.
Good.
James Evans for me.
Uh-oh. James Evans starting to pull away, y'all.
Yes,
all right.
Definitely.
Why you got James Evans?
He reminded me of my father. My father was the same type, like the previous lady said, disciplinarian. All he had to do was touch that big black belt and raise his Lynn from Darby can relate to that because that's my sister. But he didn't play, and we knew, and we brought in them A's and B's and case closed. He was a good father.
All right, I hear you.
No stuff. Papa didn't take no stuff. Okay.
All right. Well, guess what? Your sister's on the line. Let's go to her. Lynn from Darby on line 1. Go ahead, Lynn.
Okay. I'm smarter than her.
Man, she gonna make me cry. I was gonna say James Evans too, Solomon, because our father, he was no joke. All he had to do is give you that look, and we all did well in school. I have a brother who became a doctor. We're all successful, and what I loved about James Evans times, we were close with the neighborhood. Our neighborhood was clean, and we kept them good ties with the people. And life was just, I hate to say it, but I love my my younger days, and I just cherish them. And it's just like James Evans brought that out with my father working hard, and he was a jokester too. And I just enjoyed that. But one thing I wanted to tell you before I go off, the name of that book was Uncomfortable Conversations with a Black Man from Emmanuel A.C.H.O. He was an ex-Eagle, and he had a podcast. And one day maybe we could get to talk with him and see how it is, because he grew up in a white atmosphere, but you know, he got cut from the Eagles, and he wanted to see why we can't all get along, for heaven's sake.
All right, I want to thank you so much for your call this morning on WURD. Of course, I remember Emmanuel Acho. He played linebacker for the Philadelphia Eagles. I've been I watched the team. I've been a fan for a long time. So maybe we'll see if we can get him on as well. So thanks, Lynn. Let's go to Gail from the, no, let's not. Let's go to break because I need to remind you that you can rep your support for WURD Radio, Philadelphia's black-owned, black talk radio station, now through November 16th. Get a free WURD sweatshirt when you join and renew your membership. Use the code SAVESPACE, as in the new show, Save Space, hosted by Sincerely Sarita, Monday through Thursday from 7 to 9. Go to wordradio.com/join now and use the code SAVESPACE to rep Black Talk Media today.
Man, this coronavirus has us all moving differently.
No doubt. Like washing our hands more and social distancing with the crew. I'm always telling people to give me 6 feet. We're here, Grandmom.
There's my babies. Good to see you got your mask on.
Wear mask. Stop the spread. For more information, visit www.pa.gov/COVID.
Paid for with Pennsylvania taxpayer dollars.
Always Best Care is a great place to work. Flexibility,
leadership, purpose,
great benefits.
There's never a dull moment.
Diversity, inclusion, compasión.
We love our jobs. If you're looking for a great place to work, you can join our compassionate Team Green. You can apply online at teamgreenabc.com or call 267-909-9248.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
He's back.
This is Reverend Al Sharpton.
Keeping it real with the Reverend Al Sharpton.
In times like these, we have to stay connected.
At a brand new time, Monday through Thursday, 9 p.m. till midnight.
I'm excited that Keeping It Real returns to WURD.
Keeping it real with the Reverend Al Sharpton. Monday through Thursday, 9 p.m. till midnight. This program is pre-recorded. No phone calls, please.
Keep it locked to WURD 96.1 FM, 900 AM. WURDradio.com.
WURD Radio presents the following wellness tip to support our listeners with mindfulness and motivation as we continue to navigate the pandemic together.
Hi, this is Halana, your resident health and wellness coach, with tips to help you stay well. Many of us have heard this term before, but may not know what it really means. Compassionate living brings mindfulness and peace to the center of your daily life. Compassionate living can look like this. Number 1, be gentle with yourself and those around you. Number 2, choose to speak kindly to others, even when you're upset. Number 3, become a good listener and practice empathy at home and at work. We sometimes think in order to live with compassion, we have to become someone else. Not so. In fact, allowing peacefulness to be at the center of our daily interactions is something we can practice every day. Go ahead and try it today. Stay well with WURD. Happy living.
Stay well with WURD. Connect with us at wordradio.com.
Tune in Saturdays from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. to hear Empire Capital and Consulting founder Mark Palmer's show titled Black Money, Black Power. This show centers around black money and how black power is derived from money. Tune in every Saturday from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. Black Money, Black Power. Hosted by Mark Palmer.
It's Wake Up with WURD, hosted by Solomon Jones. Right now on WURD Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD.
Good morning. This is Solomon Jones on 900 AM, 96.1 FM, WURD. Gail from the Northeast is online too. Go ahead, Gail.
Good morning, Solomon. Lisa. I'm going with Chris Huxtable because everybody wasn't in the projects. So we have to realize that. So some people, and my father did work, my mother stayed home, and eventually, and we went to Catholic school. So therefore, some of those things that we see, we take a little bit of each father, but the phrases and words that Cliff Huxtable used, we heard it in the household. Not for everybody because he was from Philadelphia. So a lot of stuff you actually heard and relate. Even though I know people that were born or lived in the projects, you know, they looked to Cliff Huxtable because it was a way out. So basically he showed us the blueprint, how to get out, teaching your kids how to go to school, and the black colleges, HBCUs, is something that he put out there where it made, okay, we can do this. We can go to school, be educated, and collaborate with our own and seek this better life. So I think when we look at that, James Evans brought one thing, and it was he ruled with an iron hand. Where Cliff, he was strong, iron hand, but words, he would let you think. You had to think. And sometimes you remember, your mother would always say, wait till your father gets home, or wait till this. So you had to think about the stuff that was more damaging than anything. But I'm going with Cliff Huxtable.
All right, I hear you, and I want to thank you so much for your call this morning on WURD. Let's go to Jay from Hunting Park on line 1. Go ahead, Jay.
Yeah, good morning, Solomon.
Good morning.
I want to put in my boat. It's a hard one, but I'm going to go with Cliff Huxtable.
Okay. All right.
Cosby Show. And my reason is that, like, when that show came on, I think it sort of changed the whole cultural belief around the black middle class at that time, you know? We were all watching it. And then, like, it was spin-offs from it, too, like A Different World.
Right.
And Indirectly Living Single. So, like, it peeled back that, like, just that different aspect of black life. That's all.
All right. I want to thank you for your call this morning on WURD. Let's go back to the phone lines. Talk to Spread Love from Philly on line 4. Go ahead.
God bless, Brother Solomon. How you making out, family?
Good, and you?
Give God the glory. As always, thank you for your show. God bless Upper's Quaso on the boards. Always doing an amazing job. And, God bless the WURD family, all the victims, and all the incarcerated who are listening. All our hearts, thoughts, and prayers are with them, and everyone working to make it better. God bless us to get it together. And, of course, everybody help somebody. Don't nobody hurt nobody. Don't nobody harm nobody. And for the black fathers, Fred Sanford. That's all I got to say.
Okay, why?
Because he was on TV, if you remember the episode, saying, don't shoot until you see the whites. Hands down. Best black father line ever. But as far as Cliff Huxtable and James Evans, I say Cliff Huxtable because he said one of the best lines ever. I brought you in this world, I could take you out. And I got to go with James Evans because he wasn't afraid of that belt. More love.
All right, so you didn't pick one, you picked both. You picked 3, actually. But I want to thank you for your call this morning on WURD. Let's go to Rashida from Southwest on line 1. Go ahead, Rashida.
Good morning, beautiful people of WURD.
Good morning.
And welcome back, Asa. I'm going to go with James Evans because his character, He always tried to do his best, and he kept facing obstacle after obstacle. Something like what we're doing today with in reference to this election. First, they tried to purge the voters. The Postal Service tried to remove the mailbox to slow down the mail. In Texas, they removed the ballot boxes. Now we got the fourth thing going on. But I want everybody to know that there is a video on YouTube where Donald J. Trump is in Pennsylvania, Scranton or Wilkesboro, and he tells his people, vote twice. Isn't that something? I think that would shut down his lawsuit. He said it, not Biden. That's my comment.
All right. I want to thank you for your call this morning on WURD. Let's go to Danny from Southwest on line 2. Go ahead, Danny.
All right. I'd like to say James Evans, because he didn't walk out on his family through the hard times, and that's what a real man does. That's all.
All right. I want to thank you for your call this morning on WURD. If you want to get in, it's 215-634-8065. That is 215-634-8065. Kawesa, what are they saying this morning on Facebook?
So quite a few comments that we have here. Phyllis Williams says, Dr. Huxtable didn't let his title interfere with him as being a loving, funny, and caring father. So that's one for Dr. Huxtable. Mike Jackson, James, even by a hair, he was the first black father we had ever seen and built the foundation. So that's one comment. And then some more for James Evans. Haley Stephen Alston, my vote is for James Evans, his toughness. And then Mark Reason says James Evans also. And then we also have Diane Fassett saying the best dad was Mr. Ward Cleaver on Leave It to Beaver. He wasn't black, but he was one of the best dads to emulate. So that's another comment that we have here. Mark Reason also is saying that I think for James Evans, you also felt his struggle. And Gail Robinson, Cliff Huxtable. And so that's another comment that we have. And then I did see another one that I wanted to pull up. Sean Wright Dupree, good morning, Word, prayers and blessings. Informative show, as always, daily listener. Cosby Show dad, showing black intelligence at the highest, 100. And then Malcolm White says he's also going for James Evans. And then he also said, yes, we all had a thing for Thelma. And I think, Solomon, you're right, because I saw her maybe like a few years ago at one point, and she was beautiful. She was selling a book or something like that, but she's definitely beautiful. So those are just a couple more comments. Oh, Yonda Washington is going for Heathcliff Huxtable as well. So, we do have, it's almost kind of neck and neck almost I'm seeing here. So, those are wait,
somebody said Heathcliff?
Yeah.
Somebody said Huxtable. It's hard for me to say Heathcliff Huxtable. That's hard to say. It's Cliff. Yeah, just Cliff. All right. So somebody else went for him?
Yeah, somebody else went for him as well. Yonda Washington. She said Cliff for me. So, yep. Okay. So those are a couple of folks weighing in. Yeah. Looking good. Is catching
James
up?
Evans is in the lead at this point. Yeah, he's still winning. He's still winning. And I'm trying to count him, but James Evans is still winning. And it's interesting because I think that says something about black culture, and I also think it says something about the generational nature of what we remember and what we like, because James Evans, by any stretch of the imagination, was not successful economically, right? But he was a disciplinarian, and he was there, and he worked hard, and he tried, and he had heart. And Cliff Huxtable, he's a doctor. He married a lawyer. He has his family in a big house. They want for nothing. He can provide everything for them economically, and gives them these lessons. But it seems like when you poll the listeners, they value that discipline, that physical safety, and that work ethic over the economic success of Cliff Huxtable. I think it says a lot about us, that money is not the most important thing for us as a people. I just find that really, really interesting, Kawesa. What do you think?
I do find that that interesting, and I will go back to even I think it was Phyllis Williams who might have said it, but she was saying that that Cliff didn't let his title interfere with him being a good dad, a great dad, and so I really do think that you're looking at two different ways of being a great dad. And it is very interesting to see that there are so many people who are like, oh yeah, James Evans was so much like my dad and such a disciplinarian. But then you have others who, like for me, I like the fact that Cliff was funny and that but not only was he funny, but you could tell that he was running his household, and that they had him and Claire had a great relationship, and I think that it was important to see that you can function on either side of the fence. James and Florida had an amazing relationship as well. So I think that when you really break it down, they were both really amazing representations of the black family and where we've come from, where we can go, where we've been. Like I just think that both of them are amazing dads. I'm still going for Cliff. I am still going for Cliff, but I think that you're absolutely right.
Yeah, so I think we learned something about our folk today, man. So in the Black Dad Olympics, James Evans beats out Cliff Huxtable, George Jefferson, and Uncle Phil. And we appreciate everybody who participated in that and everybody who called in on today's show, because guess what? That's going to do it for today. I want to thank all of our guests, including John Dorsey from JD's Auto Body, Jay McCalla, political commentator extraordinaire, and of course, award-winning film director Tony Paris. Make sure you check out his documentary, Democracy in Black. And now, for Kawesa Mathis and everyone here at WURD Radio, I am your host, Solomon Jones, saying stay tuned for Reality Check and City Council Live with Charles Ellison. And tune in tomorrow at 7 for Wake Up with Word. Peace.